What is happening, everyone? Let me find the right thing. How are we? What's happening, everyone? A lot of happening. We're on Nicho Hines' watch. We're on the weather watch. Never thought I'd be saying that in a SuperCoach sense. But you know who I am. I'm the SCWhisperer. You can see my trades, my ranks, whatever we're going to do. Hope we are doing well tonight. We are an hour and a bit away from KICKOFF, a game that I'm stressing hard because I have sold, as you can see, Angus Crichton for effectively Nicho Hines. We're waiting on the Roosters 24-hour mail as well. We'll see what happens with Satili Tupanua, whether he makes the side after suffering HIA. I expect he does. He trained today, so not holding out for anything particular. But if Satili's ruled out, it kind of changes my plans. Would probably sell for feeder. I don't really like it. I just don't like how little cash I have in the bank. Potentially going to Marnie, then up to Grant. I mean, I'm contemplating the idea of skipping Grant altogether and just getting Starling next week, so that'll be interesting. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll try and get through this round unscathed. How are we all? Talon May, intriguing. He is. I really wanted to get Peter Hiku, but I could not make the money work. Even if I sell for feeder, I'm about 5k short of getting Peter Hiku, unfortunately, but I do want him. It just sucks I can't have him. No Josh King. I mean, the reports on Brandon Smith being out or being back next week, kind of meh. Does Josh King come in and start for Nelson Asa for Solomona? With Eisenhuth coming back, what's going to happen with the rotation there? There's a lot of question marks I've got over Josh King now. Cheese is coming back earlier than we expected. So I'm going to kind of skip on him. We're going to run... I'll show you my time. I'll show you my side soon enough for what we're running with. Do you guys want to see the side now? Do you want to see it closer to deadline? You let me know. I'll waffle here for a bit while I'm cleaning my glasses. I can't read the chat unless I have them. Love my work. Thank you very much. Been copying it a bit recently, so it's nice to hear that you enjoy what I do. Angus Crichton over for feeder. If both started, I'd hold Crichton, but the fact that I'm not sure about what is happening, I've opted to sell him. So not ideal. For Neil Blake, for feeder and Schneider out, Hines, King and Yo in. Okay, so I've got a couple of issues with this trade. What does Isaiah Yo's production look like when Nathan Cleary is back? Are his minutes sort of rotated? Because he's the focal playmaker of the side. I know you've got Sean O'Sullivan and Jabron Luai, but it all goes through Isaiah Yo. What happens when Cleary's back? As for Josh King, I've already touched on my insecurities about him and his game time moving forward. I listed him as the 6th best buy this week on my Instagram. I still stand by that. I still think there's money to be made if you don't have to start him. The reason why I opted out trading him in is because I would be forced to start him that way. We always enjoy what you do, mate. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Where is Brewster? Brewster does not do these ones. He has a wife and children, so he can't really commit to an hour on a Thursday night, basically at dinner time. So me being a degenerate 24-year-old, I will try and get as many guests on from the SuperCoach world as possible. Normally I'm going to be with Aman, but he was busy tonight, so we're flying solo tonight, guys. Talon May definitely watch the next 2 weeks. I totally understand the idea of waiting on Talon May. I just had to get someone in to make the money work. And he's got a green dot. Like, what more is there to say? Like, we saw what he did last year. He's got incredible base for a winger, very similar to Ryan To'o. Expect him to take a lot of hit-ups, so we'll go from there. Hi, I'm new to SuperCoach, looking for the best podcast to listen to. How have you finished over the last few years, Whisperer? I've got my ranks on my phone. I can pull it up for you if you want. Last year, not good. I did not adjust quick enough to the changes last year. I'm very much an old school player. 2016, 961st, 2017, 62nd, 2018, 547th, 2019, 59th, 2020, 1100th. Last year, we blew out to 18,000th. I just did not adjust quick enough to these rule changes and the high ceiling guys. So last year was a bit of a write-off for me. I'd like to think I have runs on the board, but there's plenty of fantastic podcasters out there. I listen to the SC Playbook. I listen to SC by Adrianosaurus, SuperCoach All-Stars. Barnsey runs a really good podcast there. Obviously, the SuperCoach Champions, those guys have runs on the board. They both won it. Guy and Wilfred, they've won SuperCoach. They're probably the ones that I'd lean towards. I don't have enough time in the day to listen to all the SuperCoach podcasts, but there are a plethora out there, and there's some fantastic ones, but I appreciate you stopping by and checking out me, checking out what me and Brew do. Brew finished 100th last year. Like I said, I've got 2 top 100 finishes and a couple of top 500. So I guess the credentials are there, just didn't pan out last year. Hey Josh, good to be back again, mate. Andrew Fafita to Max King, Andrew Fafita to Bo Firma, Ilias to Cleary. Whoa, there's a lot going on here. Ilias to Cleary. Note, I already have Nico Hines and have Cody Walker. I'd be getting Cody Walker out first and foremost. Move him on before he plummets cash. Get him back around 5 or around 6. That's my plan. I'm going to bring Cody in maybe 3 weeks' time, and we'll go from there. Stefano to Josh King, Gus to Olakau'atu to Hastings to Hines. Thoughts? I have Liam Martin, so may change. Let me scroll back up so I can see this one. Okay, so Stefano to Josh King. Gus to Olakau'atu. I like that move. I like Olakau'atu a lot. Just the fact that he got like 77 last week, all in tackle busts. Granted, he was up against Sam Walker, so I probably could have racked up a couple of tackle busts against Sam Walker, but Olakau'atu has an incredible draw coming up, fantastic run of games, and if Tommy's firing, we know what he can do. We saw him after Origin last year. And Liam, I'd hold Liam Martin. He's out for 1 week, so not too fussed about that. What have we got? Throwback to when Corey Parker, regular captain. I mean, 2019, I think had Payne Haas every game. He pumped out 70s, and I was over the moon with that. So, Anthony LaFranchi, Robbie Farrow was a good one. Cameron Smith, obviously. Not Jacob William. I'm trying to think of someone else. There was a plethora of great forwards. Sam Burgess, Paul Gallen, like all these guys are great to have back in the day. Should I trade out for Fafita or Angus? If I trade out David, I'll have 150k spare for next week. I don't want to trade out Gus. The only good thing. Okay, yeah. So this is the situation I'm in, basically. I've opted for Gus just because he's on the bench. If I get word before 8 o'clock tonight that he's starting, I will trade out for Fafita. But yeah, I'm only as good as my last year. I must be terrible then, man. That's fine. That's all good. What do we got? Ilias is still a cow. Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm going to hold Ilias. He's a terrible AE, but he'll be a very, very slow burn. We'll go from there. Trade or hold Billy Smith, Stephen Crichton, and Aiken. I'd just be holding all those guys. Stephen Crichton gets Cleary back. Billy Smith gets a good run of games coming up, and Aiken. I mean, the attack should come from what we saw last year, so I'd just be holding those guys. I've gone D-Feed to Frizzell, Gus Olakau'atu, and Sheila Talon May. Nice. Cool, man. Well done. Connor Watson, Olakau'atu, or Yo. Tempted to go Watson for the DPP. I don't even think Watson plays this week, to be honest. There's a lot of talk that he doesn't. He's got that burner issue, so I'd probably hold off Connor Watson, to be honest, personally. Is Blake Brayley a safe 50? Okay, yes, I caused a lot of controversy on Twitter today saying do not buy Blake Brayley. My thinking, so I'm going to be checking my phone quite often here because I'm waiting on some Twitter notifications. Okay, so nothing just yet. So Blake Brayley, Cameron McInnes on the bench, Braden Trindle on the bench. Where are these minutes coming from? And I think they take them from Brayley. I think Brayley plays 60, 65 with Cam McInnes rotating through the 9, Braden Trindle rotating through the 13. So I wouldn't be buying Blake Brayley this week, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to. It's just not something I would recommend. Hey Whisperer, what do you think of these trades? Hiku in, Kurt Mann out, Olakau'atu in, Angus Crichton out, depending on team news, Yo to open another, and Nakora out. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a common theme of this pod. I'm going to wait on Isaiah Yo. I want to wait to see what he does with Cleary back, because this like random spike in production, kind of weird. And yeah, the big factor is Cleary not there. So I want to wait and see what Isaiah Yo does. I don't think he's the kind of guy that's going to go off for 1 or 2 hundreds back to back. So he shouldn't get too out of reach. But yeah, I mean, if he keeps up with Cleary, they're awesome. Another one of these guys, though, that I'm not keen to hold over Origin. I think his minutes get managed a little bit. So that's one to watch out for. Thoughts on the Warriors? I think Aiken doesn't want to move to New Zealand. Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty known that a lot of these guys had signed for New Zealand, signed for the Warriors, not to live in New Zealand. So the fantastic news that the Warriors are going back home. I think this will spell an issue for a lot of players at the club. I just don't think they want to travel and live in Newcastle in New Zealand, which, yeah, I mean, sucks for the Warriors, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of split on this. The players should know that. I mean, I don't really feel the players should back out of deals because they don't want to move when they knew, I guess, what the issues were going to be. Something I want to introduce quickly. Nico Watch. We don't have that. We have this. So I've been checking the Wollongong weather pretty frequently all day today. It's bucketing down in Wollongong right now. And the reason why is because Nicho Hynes is the number one most traded player in. A lot of people are straight seeing. A lot of people are vice captaining. So we have to watch out for this. I'm not too fussed about it. If he scores 60, he scores 60. Cool. Might not get the 100-point game we expect from Nicho, but you can see Wollongong is there. We've got a little bit of a southerly coming in from Sydney, which could eventually trickle down, and just some scattered showers across Wollongong there now. So that's definitely one to watch out for the footy tonight. Let's get back to some questions. Are you scared that all that Kikko can do? No, I've got Kikko under 55 points this week. Hot take, I've got Kikko going pretty quiet. He's just a Rockstar Diamonds guy. If he can be the Diamonds consistently, like he is a phenomenal SuperCoach player and a guy that you must have. I'm just worried that he's not going to be that guy. So, I don't know. If you take the punt on him, it pays off. Awesome, well done. But yeah, he's just... Historical performances never really intrigued me when it comes to William Kikau. Selling Jermaine Snell-Brown to Josh King for a generator that won't start for me, or would you rather go Leo Thompson? I'd rather go Leo Thompson. If you jump on Leo Thompson now, I did the numbers. If he scores 40 for the next 4 weeks, he makes 130k, 140k. So that's going to justify the trade. I'd rather go Leo Thompson. Probably does the same output for Josh King, but just cheaper. If I crack a ton this week, do you need me to make a guest appearance? I've got some big brain plays in the works. Sure, mate. Fire 'em away. Hey, mate. VC, Pap, Teddy, or Munster can loop all of them. I'd be going Pappenhausen there. Melbourne is pretty dry this weekend, and Parramatta can leak some points, so I would be VCing, what's his name? Pappenhausen. What else is happening on Twitter? Not a lot. Okay. Fafita, Swarker, Momo for Olakawatu, Hynes, or Hiku leaves me with 250k in the bank for Cleary in 3 weeks, and I'll move Hynes on or go to a fullback depending on how Teddy. Okay. I want to keep Walker. I've said this a couple of times because of just the Roosters draw. I bought him for rounds 4 to 10. I'm not going to cut ties with him now. I don't think you should cut ties with him now. Just my personal opinion. Stop raining down here for the minute. Matthew, if you live in Wollongong, you can be my weatherman for the stream. Give me updates every 10 minutes. That'd be fantastic. Jack, I think I answered your question already. If I missed them, put them in a couple of times. Anything more, I'm just going to ignore them. Fafita, Moses, Utoi Kamanu for Hynes, Olakawatu, Lomax in. Cheers, bro. Look, I really, really like Lomax. I think he's going to be a top 4 centre wing this year. But the Dragons draw is kind of But in saying that, he scored 50 points despite getting sin bins. So there's 60 plus the 10 minutes he lost off the field. Lomax is a gun. I want to have him on my side. I just want to wait for the Dragons draw to open up a little bit. Angus to Lolo, or don't buy Lolo. I have Lolo, but he's not someone to be buying right now. He's not hurting you, not owning him, and he's not going to do anything. Like, he's just going to trot along 55, 60 points a game. So, I'm going to be, yeah. Before we get to the round 3 price rises, are you thinking of trading out Brew for someone with a decent ranking credibility? That's a bit harsh, man. You were here on Tuesday, just giving Brew hell, and you're here tonight. So, if you're going to just rag on him, why are you here? I mean, I don't care either way. I'll give you the airtime once and once only. A rank isn't the be-all and end-all in SuperCoach. I like Brew. Brew's a really good friend of mine. So I just think carrying on about it like it's a currency is a bit ridiculous. And we're in round 2, so chill. Would I trade out Gutho to Hynes? No. Gutho's got a really good draw coming up. Same reason I wouldn't trade out Moses to Hynes. Just that Parramatta draw, you bought them for a reason. You bought them for their draw for the first 10 weeks. Just because there's a new shiny toy in the market, don't cut ties with them now. I'm cutting ties with Angus just because of the dropping. So maybe a different situation. Maybe I'm just looking at it through blind eyes. But that's just sort of my thinking on this. If Angus doesn't start, should we trade him out for Curran or I'd be preferring Curran. He's going gangbusters now, and his stocks are only going to go high when he plays on the edge when Tohu comes back. So yeah, I'm not too fussed on fading Curran. He's a guy that I'm going to want to get in eventually. Going Kiri, Nakora, and Billy Smith out, Hynes and Hiku and May in. I've seen a lot of questions reselling Kiri didn't he just have like a 70-point game in the weekend? He's the primary half. He's got Teddy firing back on all cylinders. I would not be selling Kiri. If he doesn't perform for the next 2 or 3 weeks, yeah, cut ties. But he's going to come into it more and more after suffering that ACL. So I'd be giving Kiri another shot. I've tipped Para can trade out. Go away. Should I trade out for Fafita or Angus? And if I trade out David, I'll have 150k spare for the next week, but don't want to trade. I think I've answered this one already. I'm in the same boat as you, man. I've answered this already. I'm trading out Gus because he's benched. But I would, if they were both starting, I'd be trading out Fafita. Would you keep Grant this week or swap to Appy for the cash and then move on? I just feel like it's a waste of 2 trades you don't need to make. Just hold Grant. It's a 1 week thing. You've got the best hooker in the game on your side. It sucks that you've only got 1 week out of him for the first opening 3. But yeah, I wouldn't be too fussed selling Grant. I just think that's way too sideways. What's the go to a player for your fantasy team opposed to SuperCoach? What's the go to player for your fantasy team opposed to SuperCoach? Can you elaborate on that? And I'll happily answer it because I'm really into fantasy this year. I think fantasy is a great platform and I've been enjoying it. Rank 21,000s right now. Thanks for the help. We'll keep pushing. Don't care about rank right now, man. I'm 140 points outside the top 1k and you're ranked higher than I am, so you'd be even closer to the top 1k. Don't stress on rank too much. We're 2 weeks in and people's teams are just so different right now. So 1 good week and you'll skyrocket. Like you can see from the top corner here, I went up, 36,000 spots in 1 week, and another good week and I'll probably do that again. It's just so volatile right now in the first 6 rounds, your rank is so volatile. So don't stress on your rank too hard at the moment. You feel sorry for Hastings owners. Yeah, it's brutal. I feel like he shouldn't have challenged that. I feel like that was a pretty clear suspension. Just take the 2 weeks and move on. But now he's out for 3, so you've got to move him on, in my opinion. Matt, hey Josh. Hey Matt, I hope you're having a great night, mate. What do you think about David Fafita down to Nat Butcher because of his minus 40 break even already, and thoughts on holding Reed money? Sorry if already answered. No, man, that's fine. Fafita to Butcher, it's 2 trades because you're going to want to get Fafita back. You make a little bit of cash, yeah, cool, probably a 150k swing. But what happens when he's just dropped next week? If he's dropped next week, I mean, you're then wasting 2 trades, and we're going to get to round 21, round 22. I'll be doing these live streams, and you'll be like, I've got no trades, and then you'll think back to crap. Where did I waste them? I'd just be holding in that situation. As for Reed Marnie, I'm holding with the idea of maybe getting Green if I can get the money. But if I can't, then we will go to Starling, which will be a big play. Might have missed it, but what do you think of Manu? 99 break even and has looked lost out there. Yeah, I mean, 1 game against the Knights, they looked dreadful. Last week, they clicked back. For anyone that's going to ask me some questions about Roosters players today, I'm going to be in the hold category just because I feel like the Roosters are clicking. Their draw is phenomenal until round 10. So any Roosters guys I would be holding. All right, Dylan's clarified. What are the players you would be targeting NRL fantasy rather than SuperCoach? Different platforms, just wondering who you're getting or got. So obviously prices change instantly. SuperCoach, I haven't got Leo Thompson. I probably won't get him. But this week I've got Thompson in fantasy. Thomas Darling I've got straight away in fantasy. Just because the price changes are so different. You also look at base stats way more heavily in fantasy over SuperCoach just because of how little the attack is rewarded on fantasy. But if you have any fantasy questions, man, drop me a message. I'll do my best to answer them. But I don't want to clog this up with just fantasy chat. How many bonus trades are you looking to keep for the back end of the season? I've heard you say you go hard early. How hard is too hard? You can go hard without using your bonuses. Last year I ran out of trades way too quickly because I was just trying to plug fire holes all too much. As for my trade boosts, I might use another one next week depending on the team. But apart from that, I really don't want to be touching them. Because that'll be crucial if COVID hits. If half a team gets wiped out. I've got so many Roosters stocks. If the Roosters get wiped out with COVID, I need to have those trade boosts up my sleeve in order to be able to just, field a decent 17. I feel like right now I have a pretty strong 17. So I'm pretty thankful that I haven't been hit too hard with injuries and we'll move from there. Nakora anytime tonight. I really hope not. I'll cry. I'll cry. Because obviously we rode him hard for the first 2 weeks, and yeah, so we'll go from there. Hey Matt, give me some weather updates in Wollongong, please. And you've also asked, may have missed, where do you end up on JTB? I'm just gonna hold. I mean, he's 270k. Is there a really need to sell? I'm just gonna hold until he's back, to be honest. Is Marnie to Bradley with the price rise and draw a good play? Grant could be out 2 weeks, and Marnie is going to lose cash. Marnie will lose 40k if he goes for like 50 points tonight or whatever. I think I've done the math. I'd just be holding Marnie. He's probably the best hooker option this week, to be honest. And then we can assess from next week. Hopefully you got some money in the bank to amend that. But yeah, Marnie hasn't hit the ground running, but I would be looking at just holding for this week. I think he's the best hooker option, and hopefully he goes big in the Melbourne side. That should go up the guts a fair bit. Draft mode. Play Hiku, Sloan, or Eli Katoa. Who do the Warriors have? The Warriors have the Tigers. The Cowboys have the Broncos, and I can't remember who the Dragons. Oh, the Dragons have the Sharks. I'll probably play Hiku out of those ones, man. Because of COVID, you shouldn't have more than 3 players from your team. Yeah, I'd agree, but the top end teams, I would stack hard. Melbourne, Roosters, Souths when they start firing. Yeah, you go hard on those guys because you get big rewards. Do I start Billy Smith because he's on the wing against Souths? What wing would be on it? He'd be on the right wing, which would be South's left, which would be AJ and Paulo. Yeah, I would start Billy Smith on that. I feel like Paulo is a little bit of a defensive No, it'd be Milne. No, I wouldn't be starting. I think Milne provides a bit more defensive cover than Paulo. So I wouldn't be starting Billy Smith, to be honest. Hey bro, can you help me with my last reserve pick, Nanai or Talatau Amon? Sorry to pick your brains. Do not be sorry, man. That's why these streams are here. I don't get a chance to reply to every single message I get during the week, and if I haven't replied to yours this week, I am so sorry. I've been flat out. To answer your question, man, I'd be playing Nanai. Look, Nanai could have had a 30-point swing last week. He missed 10 tackles, so there's 20 points. If he makes those 10, there's another 10 points, there's 30. Plus the 4 penalties he gave away and the 1 error or whatever it was. He's a very raw prospect. He's got such a high ceiling though, so I'd be playing Nanai personally. Probably unnecessary trades. I like to play the game a bit different, but what's your thoughts on these trades? Gus to kick out, Clifford to Hines, and Jack Bird to... I wouldn't be trading out Clifford. No, I would not be trading out Clifford. If you got Clifford and you started with him, well done. You're a genius. But I wouldn't be trading him out. He's set to make a decent price rise and then maybe go from there. Will Hines gain money? His break-even is 50, so if he goes higher than 50 tonight, he will make some cash for us. What would you do with Andrew Fafita? He's not going to make much cash. No, a bit of a slow burn. I will look to move him on if a better prospect comes up, and we'll go from there. For fantasy, should I trade Tuolangi, Bullymore to get Hines? I would trade a Bullymore. Yeah, give Tuolangi another chance when he's back next week, but Bullymore's break-even in fantasy is like 25. I will be trading him out. I've traded him out this week as well. Is SC Plus worth it? No. Nah. I wouldn't say it's worth it. It's nice to have. I have it because I'm a subscriber to The Telegraph and I use the articles for content, and that's the reason why I have it, but I wouldn't go out of your way. There's plenty of pages out there that make content on SuperCoach, obviously myself, and there's a couple of other guys. There's also the SuperCoach Stats website. That's a fantastic website. It's got a lot of premium stuff on there, so go check that out. SuperCoach Plus isn't a must-have in my opinion. Let's take a break with the questions, and let's have a look at my side. We'll try and get your thoughts on how the Ramsey Resurgence are heading into round 3. That's what we're looking at. So, obviously, you've seen my trades. The trades that we have made are Crichton, Nakora, and Schneider out for Talon May, Bo Fermor, and Nico Hines. That Bo Fermor pick, I really wanted it to be not Talon May. I really wanted it to be Peter Hiku, but I just couldn't make the money work. I didn't have enough centres to move to 2RF. I didn't have enough spots to open up at centre wing. So, here's the squad. Read money. Chris Randall with no reserve tag on him. And this is what I mean by when I say I have a decent 17. I can afford to leave someone like Chris Randall on the bench. and I'm tossing up between him and Nanai, but I'm leaning towards going Nanai just for the upside. Joe Arrow has been a steady hand. What's he averaging? Nearly 60 points. I'll take that from a 450k guy. Max King has been a bit of a stud. He has just plugged 50s the last 2 weeks, and I'll take that for my second front row spot. You got guys like Payne Haas scored 63 last week for 5 times the price, not 4 times the price. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to take a 51 from Max King. We've kept Fafita. If I get news that Crichton is starting before tonight's game, which is in half an hour, I don't think I'll get that news. We'll probably keep Crichton and trade it for Fafita. We've got Tamalolo and both Fermor, Nanai and Tago. So I had to move Tago up. So I traded out Crichton and Nakora, and that means two second row spots that I had to move. So I had to bring Nanai up, which freed up a spot in the centers for Talon May. Obviously, yeah, Nico Hines gets the VC for me this week because... sorry, I'm just reading the chat. We got the VC on Hines. Pretty easy to loop there. I will probably bring Jermaine Tanua-Brown in for Max King, and that'll be my loop. And then, yeah, the centers... the 5/8 is Dylan Brown. Just a guy that will just rack up points for me all day long. The centre wings this week I'm not overly happy with. You've got Panasini up against the Storm. You've got Talon May playing his first game of the year. Not thrilled about that. We've got Xavier Coates in a pretty tough matchup against Souths. Not loving that. And then you've got Daniel Tupou up against Souths as well. Look, Tupou should get some good base. Panasini should get some good base. May should get some good base. Not sure if any of my centre wings will bag a meat pie this week. So, not ideal. And obviously Pappenhausen and Tedesco at the back. Pappy gets the captaincy this week. It is bone dry in Melbourne. I had a look at the weather. So Pappy with the goal kicking back will be the play for me if Hines doesn't get... Let's adjust. Let's touch on looping. 85, I'll take. Just with how up and down the captains are. If Hines can get me 85 tonight, I will take that, I think, because... I don't know. I'll look at a loop calculator. I'm going to be banking on Ilias being my AA, and I'll rank him about 20 points a game. So we'll touch on that, and we'll go from there. All right, that's my side, and I'll go back to some questions. Did I consider Munster over Hines? Yeah, but I want Cody Walker in like round 5 with South draw, round 5, round 6. So I'm probably going to trade out Dylan Brown and try and get, what's his name? Cody Walker. That's the play for me, I think, moving forward. Would have done the same trades as you in sense of players, but I really wanted to get Hiku, Big 2RF, in Olakau'atu. Yeah, no, I 100%. I really want Hiku too, man. Like, I'm not talking down on Hiku. I really want him. He'll make a boatload of cash. He's got a fantastic base. Like, I really want to get on him. I just couldn't make it work, unfortunately. Why do I have both for more? Looked really good with AJ beside him. Low break even, should make some cash. Dual flexibility. I was really high on him in the preseason, but Kevin Proctor getting named on the bench worried me, but now Proctor's rotating through the middle. The back row I should be playing 80, so I'm pretty happy with both for more. I don't know, I'll look it up. Sorry guys, had a mental blank. Trades are Angus to Olakau'atu, Man to Munster, Bullymore to Leo Thompson. What do you think? Yeah, man, like Olakau'atu is a huge, huge bolter. A lot of people are buying him in. I much prefer Olakau'atu over, what's his name? Kickoff. I much prefer Tyson Frizzell over Kickoff, to be honest, as well. So that's my idea. Who am I sacking for the 17 if the Hines loop goes off? Yeah, I'd probably sack... I don't know. Might sack Xavier Coates. We'll have a look this side. What do you think? You let me know. You let me know who would you trade out to loop? Maybe Sean Russell in for Xavier Coates? Like, who do we think is the lowest scoring player in my side here? It'd probably be Max King, or it'd be Xavier Coates. So I'd probably look at getting one of those two out for my loop. I'm thankful that I've got Tanua-Brown there to loop, and I've got Vayela there to loop as well. So a couple of options there when it comes to looping. Am I worried about having May and Tago in the starting side in SuperCoach when To'o seemed to suffer? I mean, yeah. It's just, I don't know. Tago's had like no attacking stats and averages 63. I think he's had like 1 try assist. And from what I saw from Talamay last year, I think he got 48 points all in base. And if I can get 50 points out of both those guys, I'm relatively happy, especially so early on for my side. And then for the loop, Coates no base. Yeah, I'm feeling even Talamay. It could be Talamay. I don't know. I've got options there. That's the benefit, I guess, of the way that I've set it up. I've got options to loop no matter who I choose. I'll probably put it out. But that's saying that Hines is going to go big. Like, who knows? Let's do a bit of a weather check, and then we can see if we're going to loop Hines. Here's the radar. This thing here, where is it? This thing right here is heading south, and that does not spell good things here. So I am worried about this southerly coming in and just ruining the game. Hopefully the game can get underway and maybe get like half a game through before this comes in. Because this last frame, the closest it gets, is saying that it's going to be 7:30, which is now. So I don't know. I'm going to keep Hines because I feel like he's a season-long keeper, but not confident about the big output tonight. Where are we? Cool. Then Coates, you reckon? Wait, no, yeah, Coates, yeah. May's fantastic ball runner for, yeah, he is a tackle bust machine. What I saw of him last year, I was really, really impressed with him. That's why I've gone early on him. Is there a real rush to get Nico in? I have to rip my team apart to get him in, as I have Schneider, Ilias in my halves. No, yeah, well then don't get him in. It's very, like, this is the beauty of SuperCoach, and this is the hard thing, I guess, like people like me that try and give advice. What works for my side is going to be different to what works for your side, and what works for your side will be different to my side. So, yeah, it is what it is. Is Lolo to Yo's sidewards? Yeah, I think so. I've got high hopes for Lolo. I think his minutes is going to get better and better each week, and he will get better. So I would not be trading out Lolo just yet. If you're trading out Lolo, you must have very, very good things in your side. You must be ranked quite high. Whoa, Chazza. I don't really want to repeat what you've said. Because of YouTube demonetization. But you guys can see, I will highlight you guys can read that. If that's true, that's terrible news for Transpire, and hopefully he gets better. And hopefully, yeah, whatever happened to old mate, he gets prosecuted quite hard. So, yeah, thanks for informing us on that. Hey, mate, thanks for applying early today. Changed my trades up. No Lenu, thinking Turbo Hastings out. Perhaps Nico in. I wouldn't be trading in Pappenhausen. He hasn't shown enough to be traded in. So maybe hold off Pap, but definitely Nico. Is Dylan Brown for Tom Starling 2 site? Yes, it is. Dylan Brown. What more does the bloke have to do to not be traded out? Don't trade out Dylan Brown. I've got both Josh and Max King and Haas in your middle. Oh, this is another fantasy question. Dylan, man, I'm not going to answer fantasy stuff on my SuperCoach stuff. If you got fantasy issues, send me a message. I don't really want to clog up the SuperCoach chat with fantasy stuff. 2 different games, 2 different strategies. So sorry about that. You're captaining on people you're capitalizing on people who got Harry Grant in. Yeah, look, Harry Grant is my favorite player in the NRL. I've made that no secret, but I was a little bit happy when he wasn't when I saw he got COVID, because I was like, "Whew, I can't get Grant in this week." But the news has made me feel a little bit better. So, yeah, capitalizing on Harry Grant owners, definitely. I feel sorry for the Harry Grant owners. Like, you picked the best hooker option. Like, he is. He's just the best hooker option to start. And, like, you've got 1 game out of 3, which is not ideal. So, I do feel bad for Nico Hine. I do feel bad for Harry Grant owners. And I feel even worse watching him try and goal kick last week. That was shocking. Respect to yeah. Hopefully, Spry gets better and we'll go from there. Hey, Whisperer, thoughts on trading Fifi and Nakora to Olakuwatu and kick out like he's Hunger and former? Have Angus Crichton, though. I'd probably trade out Crichton over Fifita, unless we get news, like I said. What is a loop? Okay, Rust Mouse. I'm assuming you're new to SuperCoach, which is fine. Let me pull up my side. A loop is when you take your vice captain score and get that doubled over your captain. So what we would do with Nico, so let's say Nico Hines goes off for 100 points. I'd be looping that. I would trade in Sean Russell for Xavier Coates, and I would put the captaincy on Sean Russell. Now, obviously, he's not playing, so SuperCoach goes, oh, crap, your captain isn't playing. That means you get your vice captain score. So basically, it's effectively putting in a player that isn't going to play and captaining them to get your vice captain score doubled. I don't like the loop. I think it's stupid. I've played SuperCoach for 7 years, and I think I've looped 3 times. So it happens very, very rarely for me. But yeah, it's a loophole around the system. I don't like it, but it's a rule that if you want to take this game seriously, you've got to capitalize on it when you have the opportunity. So that's what a loop is. Grant COVID gives you another week to fix other problems in your team. It does. And I'm very thankful Grant got COVID because it helps me fix other things before getting Grant in. Looks like it's pouring at Wollongong when the Sharks are warming up. That's not fun. I don't like to hear that. All right, Nico's going to dominate in the rain. Brayley's minutes safe with Trindle. No, that's why I think Braden... sorry, I'll finish the question. Are Brayley's minutes safe with Trindle on the bench? No. That's why I don't think he is a good trade-in this week. I'm worried that Cam McInnes takes minutes away from him. I'm worried that Trindle takes some minutes away from him, so that's why I'm off the Brayley train. I was on him if Trindle wasn't named, but the fact that he is named worries me. What else we got? Sorry, guys, my eyes are fogging up. Trading Jermaine Steele-Brown to Firma, is that sideways? No, it's not, because you get more price rise out of Firma than what you will JTB over the next 2 weeks. And then, yeah, if JTB looks to be good in his second game back, you can bring him back in. Hines, the first one, going to attempt to loop on. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what he gets. Last year, I wouldn't have looped anything less than 150, but in previous years, I think it's about 120 is my benchmark. But the way that the season has started, I'm probably looking at up 90 to 100, depending on what I think my AE gets. It's lurking in the gong. Okay, that's disappointing because the Hines Masterclass might not be on. But if he gets over 50, I'm happy because that means he gets his break even. Randall will get more than Marnie and Cook this week as a revenge. I hope not. I hope Marnie just comes big and it pays off for me. The Dual Position Pod, you do a pretty good job with the pod. Are you a media as a professional? No, man. I'm a disability support worker. New career that I started. So, I work with people that are a little bit less fortunate than I am. I really enjoy my job, but no, I'm not in any media. I did debating in high school, but that's about it. I've got no media experience. Kind of learnt everything on the fly. I started this podcast over 12 months ago now with a $15 Kmart microphone, and we've eventually upgraded to, not that you guys probably can see. Never mind. You can't see crap. We've got like a really nice setup happening now. I've spent a fair bit of money on. Got a really nice sponsor last year, which paid me a fair bit, and basically put all that money into a new setup. So yeah, any bit of money that I've ever received from this, I've put back into the show. So no, I'm a disability support worker, man. I don't really work in media as a profession. I'd love to make SuperCoach my full-time job, but I don't know. It's never sat right with me charging you guys money for content. I don't know. I might do something at the end of the year if you want to send me a couple of bucks on PayPal as a tip. But no, I've toyed up with the idea of making like a Patreon and doing like exclusive content. Like I'd probably make this live stream exclusive or whatever. But no, I don't really have a goal to make this full-time. If the Daily Telegraph ever approached me to write some articles, I might be up for it, but nah. No, I've never really wanted to... Oh, I'd love to make it full-time, but it's never been a driving goal for me. I've had plenty of sponsorship offers. I've got a couple in my inbox right now, but I wouldn't really promote something if I wouldn't use it myself. So that's always been my standpoint. I do this because I enjoy doing it. I was laid off 2 years ago from my work with COVID and had nothing to do, so I made a SuperCoach page and it's blown up massively. So yeah, I'm very thankful for what I do, and I'm very thankful for all you guys here. But yeah, no plans to go full time. What's happening? Sorry, I was just rambling there for a little bit. I'll go back to some questions. Who's the go-to trade in to RF this round? I would say Olaquatu or Frizzell. I'm not keen on kick out to see what he does in years gone by. Thoughts on David Feeder to Fermor, Schneider to Hines? Frank, I don't want to come across as a dick here, but you're asking me on the thoughts on the trades that I've done myself. I'm not going to say, no, they're terrible trades, because they're literally the trades that I've done. So, yeah. OnlyFans, you boys and girls want, hey, I say girls, look at like a 4% female audience, so sex symbol. No, I don't know, man, like, I don't really think I've earned the right to charge people for anything. There's some like the SuperCoach Playbook. They have a subscription service. I know that the SuperCoach Talk guys, I think they have a mega guide that you can buy, and like they've been OGs in the industry for a while. Like they've earned the right to charge people for content. I've just been here for 5 minutes. I've been a flash in the pan, so I don't feel like I've earned my stripes to start charging you guys for money. So yeah, I mean I post enough stuff there, so. Yeah, I enjoy what I do. I'm not fast on making cash from this. Like I said, if you guys ever want to support me, awesome. But I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me personally. Like I understand why the Daily Telegraph charge people for articles because they've got a multinational corporate, like a multi-billion-dollar corporate. You know what I mean? They've got bills to pay. I just sit in my bedroom or I sit in my office space with a dodgy little ring light and microphone. So. No huge overheads here. I make a little bit of money from ads and stuff. Like if you guys listen to the audio podcast rather than the YouTube, you'll hear that their ads run through there, but I'll be pretty transparent. I think by listens, I have the biggest podcast, which I'm very flattered by, but I earn about $400 a month from ad revenue. So that pays to keep the lights on, and that's all that I could ask for. You guys in this community are great. Happy I found yours before the season started. Really helped me gain confidence in my side. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That's all I want. When it comes to this page, like last year I got a few messages saying people won their cash comps. They won a couple $100, and that's all I could ask for, man. Like I don't really care about my rank. I know that there's some people out there who like they hold on to their rank with like all they can. Like that's their personality. And if you love SuperCoach that much, awesome. That's totally cool. But for me, it's just helping you guys. And if you guys win some cash comps or you have a good rank, like some people message me saying they got a keyring last year finishing the top 1K. And like, that's all that I could ask for, guys. Like, honestly, just to see you guys succeed is enough for me. I've torn up my trades. I've been set on all week. Just now gone completely different. Yeah, man, that's the issue. What I like to do is just make my trades, take a screenshot of them. Like, what I'll do is on... This is what I do. I don't know if you guys do it too, but when lockout opens, I'll make the trades that I want to make. And then I will compare them to like sort of the trades I make through the week. So like on my phone, I've probably got like 14, 15 screenshots of like all the trades I've made this week and reverse them. And I like to go back and compare about how much my mind has like scrambled. Because like I didn't even look at Peter Hickey until I looked at in-depth at his stats. And now I'm like frothing over him, put out multiple trade offers for him in draft. And yeah, so go from there. The banter is the best part of SuperCoach. We have a trophy. Yeah, man, like having a trophy is awesome. Like I got into NFL fantasy this year. I've been a massive NFL fantasy fan, or NFL fan for like years, but never played fantasy. And we had a trophy for our main league and it was awesome. Like the banter is the best part of fantasy, I feel. I just reversed my Nakora trade because you're trading him in dual. Yeah, man, like if I trade someone out, trade them in, captain them. That's the way that it was for me last year. Thankfully this year it's been a little bit better. Some guys I faded haven't done too well. Like I faded Stags, I faded Cobbo, and those guys haven't really fired, so I'm happy with that. Faded Payne Haas, that didn't go too well, but hopefully the curse this year is lifted. Hey Whisperer, just on that note, last year I got a team of the week round 16 and won $1,000. Cheers, but man, that's all I asked for. Like just a bit, like just a thanks for doing well. That's all I care about. Just to see you guys succeed is fantastic. Like that's good to see. Like. Man, I wish I could win $1,000 from SuperCoach. That'd be awesome. But yeah, just awesome that you've done it, man. Well done. Both teams are 1 to 18. So yeah, I haven't checked my phone. So both teams are 1 to 18. Thank you very much. Fitler is holding the umbrella talking to Fitzy. No, that's not good. That's not good. You need to do one last trade. Yeah, I feel like it's how boring watching footy is it like when you don't have any players in your SuperCoach sides. That's not great. Went Crichton out, Yo in, Sam Walker out, Hines in. No, yeah, I understand why you've done it. I'm just not keen on selling Sam Walker. Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins. Pretty gutted he didn't pick up my Jets. Yeah, he was tossing between the Jets and the Dolphins, but like the Dolphins have paid him like a fat bag, and the Dolphins gave away like 400 million picks. So I understand why he went to the Dolphins, but I mean, yeah, I just me and a couple of boys started up an NFL dynasty, and I had the second pick, and Josh Allen went first in a super flex, and I took Mahomes as the second pick. So seeing Hill go, didn't fill me with confidence. Rain twice as heavy now. This is going to be a slugfest in the middle, isn't it? And Hines is going to get no points. My first try scorer. Crap. Let's have a look. First try scorer.
Braden Hamlin-Ueli. He seems to find the fucking trial on a fair bit. Actually, no, maybe go Hamlin-Ueli anytime, and then we'll have. I've got no idea what the teams are. I'm assuming they're both 1 to 18. All right, anytime try scorer Braden Hamlin-Ueli. First time try scorer Matty Kavalu. We'll see how that goes. What ranking do you usually finish the year at? Last couple of years I've had like pretty good top 1,000 finishes, but like last year was pretty brutal. As I've said a couple of times, just didn't adjust enough to the rules. I look at the top 10 teams and expect to have a lot of players we would not expect. Yeah, I mean, this early on, pods are going to dominate because like they're just outliers. And if you can jump on I reckon a lot of the top 100 teams have Dane Gagai, and none of us were speaking about him in the preseason. So I wouldn't be looking at rank too heavily right now, guys. Bullymore or Schneider for the 17th man. Schneider. I feel like he's got better upside than Bullymore. Hey, mate, would you prefer Peter Hiku or Lomax? Right now, I'd prefer Hiku, and then you could probably flip Hiku to Lomax moving forward if Hiku makes enough cash. What would be happening? Tuolangi, yeah. So that's, yeah. I'm not too sure if there was a discussion on the Tuolangi debate. But yeah, he isn't playing this week because he suffered a failed HIA and the 5-day turnaround wasn't enough. You guys can't say this until it comes up. Is Cody Ramsey to Talon May early? If you don't have to make the trade, I wouldn't. I'm only making it because I'm forced to. We'll go for another 5-7 minutes. We'll go to 5 past, or 5-2, and then we'll finish up. I reckon. My throat's starting to get a bit dry. I think my missus is coming home from work, so I'll hang out with her for the night. Ben Hunt got much value as a pod. He's just not a goal-kicking halfback, which isn't ideal. Like, I've gone Walker and Hines just because I've got that better thing. But it's Hunt's team, and he scored really well last week despite not doing a whole lot. So I can see the upside. But in years gone by, Ben Hunt has had the hooker tag. He lost that this year, which isn't ideal. Like, he's always been a halfback hooker, so he's had more value to flip around your sides, but this year he's lost it, so I probably would skip out on that. Vaughn wants to know a weather update. I think it's pretty bad. You've got this on top here, and then this is coming, so not ideal for Nico Hines owners, which is not great, but hopefully he dominates in the rain. I did the dumb move of picking Burton before round 1. I can trade him to Munster, I'd trade Burton to Munster first. I don't think, I'd trade Burton to Munster first. Haas captain. I've changed my captain about 5 times in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, you guys won't be able to see, but I put up my, captaincy post. Not that you'll be able to make this out. Yeah, jump on my Instagram if you want to see it. I've got Turbo as my number 1. Hines is the best VC option. And you've got Pappenhausen, Teddy, and Payne Haas is sort of my next best. Olakwatu over or under 70. Right side up against Burton. Pretty good defensive half with Pengai inside. Let's go under. We'll go under. Under for Olakwatu on 70. D for Fafita 65 under over. Hopefully over. And then hopefully Crichton stinks the bed. Is it worth trading Andrew Fafita to Josh King for the price rights points difference? I should get the trade. I've touched on this one already, but if you don't have to play Josh King, I would trade him in. But if you have to play him, I'd be very skeptical about his job security moving forward. Do you think Dom Young up against May is a good cash grab? I just don't know if the Knights get enough attacking chances. But they do lose Fisher Harris and Moses Leota, their 2 starting front rowers. They've lost Liam Martin as well. So there could be more points in this game than we think. But Dom Young's a good cash grab. I wouldn't be playing him, though, if you didn't have to. Just tuning in, Whisperer. Good luck this year, mate. I know, mate. You dogged me, Aman. You're supposed to be here with me. You're supposed to be here by my side, answering the questions that people love, but life gets in the way. I'm sure you'll be here next week, buddy. Should I trade in Sloan for Hiku because of the rain? Yes, good cash grab. Really did block me. Who blocked you, Michael? Wasn't me. I think I blocked one person since making the page, and it was because they were saying racist things. Lolo 70 plus. I mean, I've got him going over 65, so 70 plus isn't out of the equation. Reckon the Chiefs plays this weekend? No, I think he plays next weekend. Gusta Olakwatu or David Fafita to Olakwatu for the money for Cleary. Gusta Olakwatu. Wait, I don't know. What am I doing with Cleary? Are we jumping on him straight away? Or are we waiting to see what he looks like in the... Are we waiting to see what he looks like with his shoulder coming back? I'm probably going to wait. And then if I wait too long, I'm going to have to get him after Origin. So I'm not going to be jumping on Cleary straight away. I want to see how he goes with his shoulder and whatnot. And then we'll go from there. What to do with Kurt Mann? Now, Kurt Mann's an interesting one. Apparently last week he was carrying a bit of a hip issue and was a rib issue and was avoiding contact. So maybe give him another week and then we'll trade him out for there. Yeah, look, see Aman. Aman, look, you ditched us. The people are devastated, but nah. Look, Aman will be back next week. Sub under over 70. Oh, God, he has to score 2 tries. No, we'll go under 70 on Sub. Should we trade at Aiken or Crichton for Ola Kawatu? I'd trade at Aiken. I don't know. Stephen Crichton he's never been a SuperCoach relevant kind of guy, but he gets Cleary back in a couple next week, so maybe take a flyer on Crichton and trade out Aiken, who hasn't looked to be what he was last year. Waiting. Oh, you can't see this. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'll wait for this to come. There we go. Waiting after the first 2 games for Cleary. Might jump on him if Paps underperforms and switch to Hines. Yeah. Cleary's also like $1 million, so I don't think he matches his output from last year and probably loses cash. So he might be a tasty pickup after Origin. We'll go from there. Thanks for the live stream, dude. Catch you in Bruin Sunday pod. Nico may need a vessel. I'll catch you on Sunday, man. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Yeah, we'll be finishing up very, very shortly. Does Cleary maintain his price after 3 games? Will he drop enough to worth waiting for? Yeah, I think he does. I mean, he's priced at 115 and like Turbo's nearly 100 point underperforming. So I've got Cleary around the 75 to 80 mark when he comes back. So that's 25 points of loss. No, more than that, 35 points. So probably will drop and worth waiting, I would say. Last reserve. What was your question, Reese? Hey, Aman, I'm assuming you've listened to Wilfred's pod. I haven't got a chance to catch it, so I appreciate that. Angus benching was due to form, so that's awesome. Satilli looks decent to go, so I think Gus to sell. Thank you so much, Aman. Yeah, I assumed he was dropped on form, so yeah. Do I think Amon will go under or over 40? Under. Is it worth using trade boost to trade Andrew Fafita, Leah Thompson? Yes, because you're saving 20k there, and then you're getting the price rise that Thompson's going to get. So yeah, I don't mind that one. Enjoy the footy. Good luck. All stay safe. Cool. I reckon it's going to wrap it up for us, guys. We've been going for 55 minutes. My voice is getting a tad scratchy, so get your final questions in. We'll do just a really quick rapid fire where I'll give 1-word responses, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll finish up. Ramsey or Ramon for your last reserve? Goodness gracious me. Go Ramsey. Better try scoring chance than Amon. Amon or Billy Smith for the last reserve this week? I would go Billy Smith. Alex asks, is Lomax a must-have long-term? Yes. I think he's going to be a top 3, top 4 centre wing coming into the season. Like, he's just looking so lethal. So, yeah, long-term must-have. Thank you very much, Hines. Under over 65. Over in the wet. Let's hope. All right, guys, that is going to do it. I very much appreciate you all for spending your Thursday with me. And we'll go from... Okay, so you're asking a couple of questions before we finish it up. Bullymore, Billy Smith, last reserve, Billy Smith. Cheers for hanging around, bro. Keen for this week. As am I, mate. I'm so keen for footy. Dragons by how many? Dragons by none. I think I took the Sharks by 8, I think. Am I captaining Hines? Okay, sorry. I'll finish up with my team before we go. If anyone hasn't seen it. That's what we're running with this week. I'm just going to make sure that is my side. Nothing has changed. Pull up my phone quickly to make sure it's what I want to run, which it is. That's my side for this week, guys. Weather is pouring at Wollongong. Just check the coverage. Yeah, it doesn't look good, man. Thanks, SCWhisperer. Big help for the season. Thank you. But yeah, this is the side we're running. This is the Ramsey Revenge heading into this week. And yeah, let's hope that I don't regret selling Crichton over Fafita. That was a choice we had to make for Hines. So we'll go from there. Schneider or Ramon for last reserve. Schneider. Billy Smith or Cobbo last reserve. Cobbo. Thanks, man. Good luck for the season. Up the Storm. Yes, up the storm. Hopefully Pappenhausen scores 200. Guys, that is going to do it for this stream. I appreciate you all for having me in your homes, in your hands, in your pockets, in your tablets, whatever you've got me playing on. I appreciate you spending the last 57 minutes with me. Catch me at Twitter. I'll be tweeting a lot of rubbish this weekend. Catch me on Instagram. I post a lot of rubbish on there too. So I appreciate everyone. Yeah. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully you all have great weeks. Let's crack that 1,000 mark, eh? Let's all crack that 1,000, and we'll go from there. Let's hope for a big scoring week. Hopefully La Nina doesn't ruin it for everyone.